on your TV. It could be really frustrating. To achieve maximum viewership of the choice TV station on your screen, you can tune automatically. Just press the setup or setting button. Move the scroll button to auto tuning or auto search and press OK. For Nta channel 12 Abeokuta, the frequency is 224.25 MHz. To return to the normal screen, press menu on your remote control. If you're having difficulty tuning to 224.25 MHz, the frequency of the choice station Nta Abeokuta channel 12, the excellent antenna can also be manipulated. We are transmitting on an effective radiating power. Our reach now covers Ogun State and beyond. We also reach our streaming viewers on Star Times channel 103. Nta Abeokuta wishes you happy viewing.
Acting Chief Judge appointed as Ogun State Executive Council dedicates meeting to outgoing Chief Judge. Ghanaian President stresses need for African countries to invest more on continental issues. Third mainland bridge in Lagos reopens as pedestrians heave a sigh of relief over pedestrian bridge at Mansheke. Good evening. Thanks for joining us on Channel 12 News. My name is Ayula Tadu. Now the news in full. The Ogun State government has approved the appointment of Honorable Justice Osumolaki Keolu as the acting Chief Judge of the state. The appointment takes effect from tomorrow, Tuesday, when the incumbent Chief Judge, Justice Olatokunbo Olopade, retires from service. The acting Chief Judge holds a Bachelor of Law degree from the University of Buckingham, England, attended the Nigerian Law School, Lagos, and was called to the Nigerian Bar in July 1981. A statement by the Secretary to the State Government, Taiwo Adeoluwa, has it that she attended several national and international seminars and workshops. The week's meeting of Ogun State Executive Council is dedicated to the outgoing Chief Judge of the state, Honorable Justice Olatokunbo Olopade, who is retiring on Tuesday. The State Governor, Ibikunle Amosun, acknowledged innovations and enviable contributions to the development of the state judiciary. Leko Agbode has more.
Ogun State Chief Judge Olatokunbo Olopade is the only female to have occupied the exalted position of Chief Judge in Ogun State since it was created in 1976. For 7 years, she has been on the saddle of leadership in the judiciary arm of government of the state. Her contributions to governance in the state, especially in the judicial arm of government, was appreciated by members of the State Executive Council at the special valedictory session as Governor Ibikunle Amosun and others described her 7 years as the State Chief Judge as one full of developmental strides. As she bowed out of the service after 40 years of meritorious service to Ogun State, attaining the constitutional age of 65, the council led by Governor Amosun commended the exemplary leadership attributes of the Chief Judge.
So, for the fact that we are not left behind by your leadership and the judicial activities developed at that area and the greater government. We are indeed a rallying point for your professional colleagues, especially in the bank. You are good mentor, and of course, you need that excellence. As it should be the effort where you have discharged your duty properly. And you so passionate about that subject, and instead of the higher office, the community there have been second. So when they get sharp pistol, you are there, and people surely already was very forthright. Somebody who is very fair in the moment. And also people who work about the judiciary. Just as your lordship prepares, you will be able to call upon you to help pilot the business that we started especially the alternative district resolution.
In a response, the elected Justice Olatokunbo Olopade thanked the Governor Mosun-led executive in Ogun State for giving judges and the entire judiciary support and freedom to discharge their duties in accordance with the oaths sworn in without undue interference.
We have been able to sleep and sleep well, not in any prayer. I have been able to go out and without fear, because I have been able to discharge my duties according to my oath of office. You have given me that privilege and authority.
Governor thereafter led the chief judge and other judges on inspection of the new judiciary complex under construction at Nta Abeokuta. In Abeokuta, Lekon Agbonde, NTA News.
Still on judicial matters, the president of Ghana, Nana Akufo-Addo, has spoken on the need for African countries to invest more in its issue with antecedents as one of the surest ways of strengthening their institutions and departments. He stated this at the annual general conference of the Nigeria Bar Association, where he was the key leader. Femi Okewo reports.
Speaking on the theme of the conference, which is Transition, Transformation and Sustainable Institutions, President Nana Akufo-Addo said while it may not be right to dictate solutions to various countries' problems, education has been proved to be a problem solver regardless of locations. He said now that African countries are all united in their quest to strengthen their political, economic, social, and security institutions, a policy of mass education for their citizenry should be a veritable starting point.
Freedom and the principles of democratic accountability are strengthening the determination of Africans to build a new Africa that is neither pawn nor victim of the global order.
On the clamor for the rule of law, he called on the government and lawyers in particular to instill in their citizenry the need to embrace liberty and duty as behaviors that must go together.
This can be Africa's century. We can claim it if we believe in ourselves. It is time to hear the voice of the lawyers. It is time to feel their presence, not by dragging on cases interminably and using technical ruses to make gains.
Emir of Kano, Muhammadu Sanusi II, after the address, engaged in a conversation with the Ghanaian president on areas of mutual benefit between Nigeria and Ghana and as it relates to their interactions with industrialized countries. The 2018 Annual General Conference of the Nigerian Bar Association is the 58th edition of the conference. Femi Okewo, NTA News.
The British Prime Minister, Theresa May, is soon to visit Africa for the first time since she became Prime Minister in 2016. Kene Emagwadike has more on her visit.
On Tuesday before Nigeria and Kenya as part of a trade mission aimed at boosting post-Brexit fortunes and strengthening 8 global partnerships. Security issues will also feature on her agenda as she is expected to discuss the threats of Boko Haram in Nigeria and the role of British troops based in Kenya helping countries fight Al-Shabaab's militants in Somalia. Mrs. May will be accompanied to the 3 Commonwealth countries by a 29-man business delegation and would meet President Muhammadu Buhari in Abuja on Wednesday before meeting victims of modern slavery.
The Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu, embarked on an official visit to the United States of America and Cuba from 27th of August to September 8th. The visit to the U.S. will afford the minister the opportunity to relate to Nigerians in that country the numerous advantages of the Executive Order 5. Kene Emagwadike again has the detail.
Will afford the minister the opportunity to meet with Nigerians in that country to sensitize them on the numerous advantages of the Executive Order number 5, which is to ensure the realization of the objectives of the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan, ERGP 2017 to 2020. In accordance with the Section 5 of the Executive Order 5, which hinges on capacity building, the ministry is expected to take steps to encourage indigenous professionals in the diaspora to return home and use their experiences to develop Nigeria. The minister will, at the end of the visit to the U.S., proceed to Cuba on September 5 to honor the initiative of the government of Cuba to enable both countries evaluate the possibilities of cooperation in science, technology, and innovation. A statement from the Health, Press, and Public Relations Unit indicates that Cuba has developed some of the technology that Nigeria can domesticate to reduce importation in line with the Executive Order 5.
Free flow of traffic has returned to the third mainland bridge after the reopening of the bridge this Monday. Paul Omokago reports.
The opening of the third mainland bridge is a big relief to motorists and other road users in Lagos. The bridge was closed to traffic for 3 days for integrity tests. Federal Controller of Works Adedamola Kuti, who briefed the media prior to the opening of the bridge, says repair works will follow after analysis of the test result.
The work will actually start when the level of water will have gone down, because this is the peak of the rainy season and the thing is very high. It just demonstrates what is possible when the different organs and agencies of government work together.
Meanwhile, a cross-section of the Lagos motoring public are of the view that the entire bridge should not be closed when proper work on the bridge commences later in the year.
It was uncomfortable for every one of us, but now they repair it's okay.
It's okay as they open the bridge because everybody was, as they are going freely. By the time they will start the repairing, I think one side should be closed, while the other side should be to and fro. Yeah, once we are replacing the expansion joints, it's going to be partial closure. We are only going to close sections of the
traffic generally is smooth on the entire stretch of the third mainland bridge and adjoining roads.
The usual free flow of traffic on the third mainland bridge is back after the bridge was opened to traffic following the completion of the integrity test on the bridge. In Lagos, Paul Omukago, Nta News.
In the same vein, road users along Bansheke Ibarra roundabout in the central area of Abeokuta can now heave a sigh of relief as the pedestrian bridge at Bansheke area is open for use. Correspondent Akin Jimo takes a look at this infrastructure and its benefits.
In this part of the world, the use of pedestrian bridges by road users is often considered a burden and most times is met with resistance. Safety of both motorists and pedestrians alike is however of paramount importance as many pedestrians have been knocked down on major roads while attempting to cross to the other side of the road. Bansheke in Abeokuta is no doubt a busy drug carriage road, and this is perhaps one of the reasons why the British government built the pedestrian bridge, which by all standard is a masterpiece for safety of all road users, including motorists, traders, students, and commuters.
Having this kind of pedestrian bridge here brings about a lot of safety for the student population, not only for the students, also for people who are indigenous that lives around as well.
We really thank God for this kind of bridge that is in Abeokuta, and we really pray for more of it to happen. This is the first time that we are expecting it. We thank our governor. It's okay, it's safe, because before I used to cross from here, but before I will cross, I have to wait for the cars that are passing to one. It takes me time, but now if I want to go, I'll just come cross again.
Around the bridge, barricades are already built for enforcement and total compliance.
Considering the ingenuity of the present government, they have been able to engage the usefulness of this pedestrian bridge in a more refined manner. Why did I say so? They didn't put police officers on the road to start harassing people. No, they simply put this demarcation. So it's commonsensical. When you see this, then you have to climb.
They should be cleaning it. So to employ the employee to be cleaning it constantly so that it will be more okay.
Residents are advised to make good use of the bridge for the safety and those of other road users.
The United Nations, UN, is calling for stronger collective drive to ensure actualization and operationalization of all the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, by countries of the world. The UN Deputy Secretary General, Nigeria's Amina Mohammed, was speaking at the opening ceremony of the 28th World Water Week in Stockholm, Sweden. Musbao Danwahak reports.
The global water family gathers here once again, searching for how to ensure life for all, since it is already established and agreed upon that water is life. And with the theme, water, ecosystems, and human development, they are also concerned about good atmosphere for the lives to live in. In that quest, the unfavorable statistics in water and sanitation sector, they say, must be overturned and fast too. United Nations Secretary General Amina Mohammed commends the quest for nature-based solution to the common challenge. The former Nigeria's Minister of Environment cited the shrinking Lake Chad and the oil spill pollution in Niger Delta, Nigeria, as examples of water management challenge. As she calls for purposeful operationalization of the policies already formulated, Amina Mohammed says strong standardization, changed mindsets, and strong partnership are part of the key factors needed in this pursuit.
Ladies and gentlemen, funding our common ground is really important, and it's a collective responsibility to do it right. And it's essential that we try to do this. We need to mobilize every sector of the society that would empower our girls, our women, our young people to take the lead.
Participants also believe a new era of global collaboration must be brought to play to achieve the common goal of water and sanitation for all.
We need to pay far more attention to our water resources and realize that the past is no longer a good guide to the future.
I hope that this week will help the global community to get closer to the goal of a sustainable world.
This theme is very relevant to us in Nigeria when you consider our human activities with regards to the water bodies in Nigeria. You will know that a lot of our waters are highly polluted as a result of human activities. And this is exactly what we are here to find common solutions. How do we solve the problems that we have in Nigeria?
Two professors, Bruce Whitlam and Mark Van Woodrecht, were named the 2018 Stockholm Water Prize laureate for revolutionizing water and wastewater treatment. From Stockholm, Sweden, Musbao and Wahab, NT News.
The All Progressives Congress, APC, has urged the electorate to resist desperate politicians and their political parties from deploying illegal, undemocratic and cynical means of violence. Kene Emabudi has more.
By the National Publicity Secretary of the party, Yekini Nabena, says this is against the backdrop of the recent seizure of Nigerian-bound ship detained in South Africa for carrying arms and explosives. The statement says this is a red flag security agencies must note and be alert to as political activities heighten in the lead-up to the coming elections. The APC urges the opposition to wake up to new realities where voters count and the people's will prevail in elections. It also admonishes all well-meaning Nigerians to support ongoing progressive efforts by the President Buhari-led APC administration to ensure that elections are transparent, free, fair.
You're watching the Channel 12 News on Nta Abeokuta. More news after this time out. Stay with us.
course, business or holiday, home or office. You can now carry out your tax transactions from anywhere in the world. You can now file all your tax returns, pay online, get a receipt, and even process your tax clearance certificate from anywhere in the world online and in real time. All you need to do is log on to www.firs.gov.ng and click on e-services and be introduced to the world of innovation, convenience, and transparency from the FIRS. You can also pay stamp duty as you register a new company with the CAC or for other transactions that request stamp duty payment online. You can also file your withholding tax returns and determine the withholding tax deducted from you is in government coffers so that you can get your receipt within 45 days as long as the deduction has been remitted. Yes, all of this and more online at www.firs.gov.ng/e-services. FIRS, making tax administration as easy as ABC. Please note that all FIRS services are free of charge. This message is from the Federal Inland Revenue Service. It pays to pay your tax.
Welcome back. Economic experts have called for the incorporation of Central Bank of Nigeria's small and medium-scale enterprises to maximize the benefits of the Nigerian-China currency swap. While describing the policy as a model for Nigeria, guests on Good Morning Nigeria are optimistic that the teething problems facing SMEs could be tackled through continuous engagement of stakeholders. NTA correspondent reports.
Economic downturn few years back, occasioned by falling oil prices and foreign exchange volatility, necessitated the need to come up with buffers to mitigate shock and stabilize the economy. This led to the signing of agreement between Nigeria and China on currency swap. Guests in Good Morning Nigeria say the currency swap is already impacting positively on Nigeria's economy. They have lamented that the volume of trading between Nigeria and China is actually higher than what is captured, stressing that only the formal businesses are qualified to benefit from the policy, hence the urgent need to completely formalize.
68.72% of trade imports come from Asian tigers, the Asian tigers, and over 70% of these 68.17 comes directly from China. Then it's very important that we should have had this even earlier.
What I would like you to note, we are in a formal economy. For the majority of business people in Nigeria are in the informal sector. Our system of economy has not enabled them to migrate from the informal to the formal. And that's one of the reasons why we didn't get enough tax. It's difficult to tax the informal sector. All we need to do is begin to enable them. This is a policy that is good and can actually enable them to come to the formal sector where they can be able to use these instruments.
What will happen is the fact that the formal people who are engaging in this, because of the benefits of the exchange rate systems that they will be getting, obviously they will be able to land their goods cheaper. And at the end of the day, it's not everybody that needs to import. We can have a big wholesaler here that is importing, and other distributors can come and buy off them.
They call for the shutdown of multiple exchange windows to minimize differences between black markets and the official foreign exchange rates.
Goods are competitive internationally. Goods that come in through this channel will be goods of the best international standard that you get. And the only thing you can say is that Chinese goods may be cheaper, but they must build the international standards. So dumping will not happen.
The position of China today in the global economy is such that every nation, not just in Africa, everywhere in the world, there is increased trade and interaction with China. So what we are doing is going to be positive for Nigeria. What I think we need to do more, and I want the central bank to do more, is to as well encourage exports as much as we can, not only to China, but to other countries. This certainly will reduce pressure on the exchange rate and will strengthen the Naira.
The guests urged the Central Bank of Nigeria to continue consultations with critical stakeholders to enforce quality international standard of products to be imported from China to Nigeria. In Abuja, Lydia Samson, NTA News.
Now business news. Nigerian stock exchange market capitalization dropped by 458 billion naira as external reserves dropped by $990 million in 3 weeks. Let's join Susan Hill for details.
On Business News Tonight, the market capitalization of equities on the Nigerian Stock Exchange declined by 458 billion naira within 19 days of trading. The all-share index increased by 0.45% to 5,426.17 basis points, while all other indices finished lower with the exception of the NSE Premium, NSE Insurance, NSE Lotus and NSE Industrial Goods indices that rose by 3.15%, 0.78, 1.10, and 1.96% respectively. The 458 billion naira decline in the market capitalization dragged the all-share index down to 35,426.17 basis points from 36,688.91 basis points previously, with the premium index dropping to 2,606.81 basis points. Meanwhile, the total turnover of 968.947 million shares worth 10.246 billion naira in 9,654 deals were traded by investors on the floor of the exchange, in contrast to a total of 1.147 billion shares valued at 12.546 billion naira in 16,649 deals the previous week. Likewise, the nation's foreign exchange reserves have fallen by $990.98 million this month. Data from the Central Bank of Nigeria showed that the external reserves stood at $47.11 billion at the end of last month, which declined to $46.128 billion in August. The Central Bank of Nigeria noted that the evolution of the forex market in the country had been influenced by a number of factors, such as the changing pattern of international trade, institutional changes in the economy, and structural shifts in production. A former president, Association of National Accountants in Nigeria, Dr. Sam Ezekwe, who described oil as the nation's major revenue earner, said the reserves had grown in recent months because oil price was increasing and production was constant. He, however, said political uncertainties had led to a decline in foreign investment, as many investors were taking the funds out of the country. And that ends Business News Tonight. I am Susan Ijomu.
On the entertainment scene, the award-winning singer Simisola Ogunleye is taking her first step into the acting world. Simi, as she is popularly called, is featuring in Kunle Afolayan's upcoming movie titled Mokalik. For details and more, let's join Aishat Olaiwola.
Simisola Ogunleye, popularly known as Simi, has decided to surprise her fans by proving her acting skills. The beautiful singer studied the script of Mokalik for a week before giving a positive response to the movie producer, Kunle Afolayan. The agreement became official last Sunday at Afolayan Golden Effect office. According to the movie producer, Simi will be playing Simi, the daughter of a buka cafeteria owner, whose character holds a significant part in the plot. The senior singer will act alongside with prominent actors like Femi Adebayo, Ayo Adesanya, Faisal Williams, Lateef Oladimeji, Wale Akorede, Ayo Odushina, and Dayo Akinpelu. Mokalik, which is a Yoruba pronunciation of mechanic, is a story about an 11-year-old boy, Jaye, from the middle-class suburbs, who spends the day as a lowly apprentice at a mechanic workshop. The movie producer got the title from one of his late father movies, titled Taxi Driver. Also, the inspiration behind the movie was the producer's visit to a mechanic workshop after 15 years, where he went to refurbish his vintage car, Thunder Bedford 1965. Clutch bag is a slim, flat handbag without handles or a strap. It is one of the women's accessories to be used on formal occasions and are designed to hold few things like handsets and debit cards. There are different kinds and types of clutches, which come in a huge variety of shapes, makes, and styles, and can vary between brands and seasons. In the fashion world today, it can also be called evening bag. According to history, the use of clutch bag can be traced to the Babylonian era. As a party worker, a dressing would be complete without carrying a clutch bag, with a nice heel sandal. The types of clutch bag are bridal clutch, they are usually beaded or customized, men clutch, which are usually made of leather, envelope clutch, Ankara clutch. These are clutches covered with Ankara fabrics and lots more. And that's all for entertainment news tonight. I'm Aishat Olaiwola.
And And now we take a quick look at the weather forecast for Tuesday.
Hello there, thank you for joining us on the weather forecast. I am Paul Oba. This week promises a better weather compared to last week as we anticipate reduction of rainfall activities over some parts of the country, particularly over the extreme north. For Tuesday's forecast, let's now take a look. We expect fair weather in partly cloudy to cloudy conditions over most parts of the country except over the Mambila axis and the coast of Calabar, where thunderstorms and rains are likely. We also expect some thunderstorm activities to linger from midnight of Monday into the early hours of Tuesday over places around Birnin, Kebbi, Yelwa, and over Mina and Bida axis. As we move into the afternoon and evening hours, there are still chances for localized thunderstorms over places around Kano, Dutse, Abuja, and over the northeastern corner of the country, while winds are likely over the inland cities and the southeast coast. Next now is our temperature forecast. Please stand by. Thank you for watching.
That's it on the Channel 12 News tonight. Next up is Yeroi with Mohammed Adebowale. My name is Aina. Good night.
Wọ́n ti yan Adélé adájọ́ àgbà fún ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn lẹ́yìn tí ìgbìmọ̀ ìṣàkóso ìpínlẹ̀ yìí ṣe ẹ̀yẹ ìfẹ̀yìntì fún adájọ́ àgbà tẹ́lẹ̀ rí. Aláṣẹ orílẹ̀-èdè Ghana sọ̀rọ̀ èrèdí tó fi yẹ kí àwọn orílẹ̀-èdè gbogbo ní ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀ lójú àwọn àjọṣepọ̀. Wọ́n ti ṣe àfárá ọlọ́kọ̀ terminal bridge tí wà ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó tí ilé àwọn ẹlẹ́sẹ̀ sì ń lù fún ṣíṣe àfárá ẹlẹ́sẹ̀ agbègbè Pàṣẹkẹ́ ní ìlú Abẹ́òkúta. Ẹ̀kálẹ́ ẹ̀sìnkú ṣàtúnyẹ̀wò ìròyìn sí etí ìgbọ̀nyìn láti ilé ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ àmúhùnmáwòrán ìjọba àpapọ̀ NTA Abẹ́òkúta. Mohammed Adébọ̀wálé oníròyìn ìròyìn lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́. Ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn ti bu ọwọ́ lu yíyàn sípò adájọ́ àgbà wọn Súnmọ́lá Dípòolú gẹ́gẹ́ bí Adélé adájọ́ àgbà ní ìpínlẹ̀ yìí. Yíyàn sí ipò náà ni yóò bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti ọ̀la ọjọ́ Ìṣẹ́gun nígbà tí ẹni tó jẹ́ adájọ́ àgbà lọ́wọ́ yìí èèyàn adájọ́ Látòkùnbọ̀ Ọlọ́pàdé yóò máa fẹ̀yìntì lẹ́nu iṣẹ́ ọba. Adélé adájọ́ àgbà wọn wọ́n kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ gboyè nípa ìmọ̀ òfin láti ilé ẹ̀kọ́ gíga ifáfitì Brookham ní orílẹ̀-èdè England tí ó sì lọ ní ìmọ̀ sí ní ẹ̀ka ilé ẹ̀kọ́ ìmọ̀ òfin ti orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà tó wà ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó. Lẹ́yìn èyí ni wọ́n pèsè iṣẹ́ òfin ní oṣù keje ọdún 1989 nínú àtẹ̀jáde kan tí akọ̀wé àgbà ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ yìí Táíwò Adéolúwa fi síta. Adájọ́ àgbà náà ni ó ti kópa nínú ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ní orílẹ̀-èdè yìí àti àwọn orílẹ̀-èdè yòókù lágbàáyé. Ìpàdé ìgbìmọ̀ ìṣàkóso ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn tí ó máa ń wáyé lọ́sọ̀ọ̀sẹ̀ tí wáyé lónìí ló dá lórí ayẹyẹ ìfẹ̀yìntì ẹni tí ó jẹ́ adájọ́ àgbà ní ìpínlẹ̀ yìí. Adájọ́ àgbà Látòkùnbọ̀ Ọlọ́pàdé tí ó fẹ̀yìntì lẹ́nu iṣẹ́ bá ní ọjọ́ Ìṣẹ́gun. Gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ yìí Ìbíkúnlé Amósùn ni wọ́n mọ rírì àwọn àṣeyọrí ọ̀tun tí ó ṣe lẹ́nu iṣẹ́ ọba àti àwọn ipa ribiribi tí ó kó nínú ìdàgbàsókè ẹ̀ka ètò ìdájọ́ ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn. Ìròyìn náà tí Lékan Agbọ́dọ̀ múbọ̀ jábọ̀ wípé gómìnà Ìbíkúnlé Amósùn àti àwọn ìgbìmọ̀ ìṣàkóso rẹ̀ wọ́n rírì ohun tí adájọ́ àgbà náà ti ṣe fún ìdàgbàsókè àti ìlọsíwájú ẹ̀ka ètò ìdájọ́ sí orílẹ̀-èdè yìí. Ẹgbẹ́ èrò náà síwájú sí lẹ́nu Lékan Agbọ́dọ̀.
adájọ́ àgbà ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn ìyẹn adájọ́ Ọlátòkunbọ̀ Ọlọ́pàdé ni yóò jẹ́ obìnrin àkọ́kọ́ tí ó di ipò adájọ́ àgbà mú ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn láti ìgbà tí a ti dá sílẹ̀ ní ọdún 1976. Ọdún méje tí ó fi wà ní orí àlééfà ni ó jẹ́ èyí tí ó dára. Gbogbo àwọn akitiyan àti ipa tí ó ti kó nínú ìṣèjọba pàápàá jùlọ nínú ẹ̀ka ètò ìdájọ́ ni àwọn ọmọ ìgbìmọ̀ ìṣàkóso ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn gbóṣùbà fún adájọ́ ọ̀hún wípé ó ṣe àṣeyọrí pàtàkì nígbà tí wọ́n ṣe ètò ìdágbére ráńpẹ́ fún nínú ètò ìpàdé tí àwọn ọmọ ìgbìmọ̀ ìṣàkóso tí wọ́n ṣe. Wọ́n sì ṣàpèjúwe ọdún méje tí ó fi lo ipò gẹ́gẹ́ bí adájọ́ àgbà gẹ́gẹ́ bí èyí tí ó kún fún ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àṣeyọrí. Bí ó ṣe ń fẹ̀yìntì lẹ́yìn 40 ọdún tí ó fi sin ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn ní ìbámu pẹ̀lú bí òfin ṣe fà á kalẹ̀ láti lo 65 ọdún ní ipò ọ̀hún. Lẹ́yìn ìbámu pẹ̀lú òfin, àwọn ọmọ ìgbìmọ̀ ìṣàkóso ọ̀hún ṣe àpèjúwe rẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí aṣáájú rere. Nínú èsì rẹ̀, adájọ́ àgbà ọ̀hún Ọlátòkunbọ̀ Ọlọ́pàdé dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gómìnà àti àwọn ọmọ ìgbìmọ̀ ìṣàkóso rẹ̀ fún fífi ààyè gba àwọn tó wà lẹ́ka ìdájọ́ láti ṣe iṣẹ́ wọn láìsí ìdákọ́wọ́ àti kọ́nu-kọ́rọ̀ kankan. Lẹ́yìn ìpàdé náà ni gómìnà wá ṣáájú adájọ́ àgbà àti àwọn adájọ́ ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn láti ṣe àbẹ̀wò síbi gbọ̀ngàn àwọn ẹ̀ka ìdájọ́ èyí tí wọ́n kọ́ lọ́wọ́ tó wà lókè mọ̀sán ní Abẹ́òkúta. Lẹ́kàn Àgbọ̀ndẹ̀ ló ti ń jábọ̀ ròyìn.
Àwọn ènìyàn ìlú Pọ́nṣẹ́kẹ́ ní ẹ̀bá òpópónà Ìbàrà ní àárín gbogbo ìlú Abẹ́òkúta tí ń ṣe olórí ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn nígbà yìí ti lè fi ẹ̀dọ̀ lórí ìwé ìròyìn látàrí bí ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn ṣe ṣe afárá ẹlẹ́sẹ̀ tí wọ́n ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ṣe fún lílò fún àwọn ará ìlú ní ẹgbẹ́ náà. Akọ̀wé Akeem Jimoh lójú àwọn àǹfààní tí afárá ẹlẹ́sẹ̀ ń yóò ṣe fún àwọn ènìyàn tí wọ́n máa gba ibẹ̀ kọjá. Ẹgbọ́n náà síwájú sí ti mú wa fún yín.
Láti máa gun afárá ẹlẹ́sẹ̀ máa ń jẹ́ ìṣòro fún àwọn ènìyàn orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà. Ọ̀pọ̀ ènìyàn ní ojú máa ń ro láti máa gùn. Àwọn ènìyàn fẹ́ràn kí wọ́n máa fọ̀nà lójú òpópónà kan láì wo bí irúfẹ́ òpópónà bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ṣe fẹ̀ tó. Ààbò àwọn awakọ̀ àti àwọn ẹlẹ́sẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ohun tí yóò jẹ àwọn tó wà ní ipò agbára lógún nítorí pé ọ̀pọ̀ ìgbà ni ọkọ̀ ti gbá àwọn ènìyàn lásìkò tí wọ́n bá ń gbìyànjú láti sọdá láti apá ibì kan sí òmíràn lójú òpópónà. Agbègbè Pàṣẹkẹ́ ní ìlú Abẹ́òkúta jẹ́ agbègbè kan tí ẹsẹ̀ kì í dá níbẹ̀. Ojú òpópónà agbègbè náà sì jẹ́ eléyìí tó fẹ̀ púpọ̀. Ìrèdí èyí ni ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn ṣe pèsè afárá ẹlẹ́sẹ̀ eléyìí tó jẹ́ wípé òun ló dára jùlọ ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà láti dáàbò bo ẹ̀mí àwọn ọlọ́jà agbègbè náà, àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tí wọ́n gbé agbègbè ọ̀hún àti àwọn olókọ̀.
Ó wúlò fún wa gidigidi gan nítorí tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ tẹ́ bá rí nígbà tí wọ́n ṣe ọ̀nà ìtàn oríṣiríṣi ló ṣẹlẹ̀ lẹ́lòmíì tó kàn máa fònà àkókò kọ́kadà ti bá mọ́tò ti kọlù àwa ní láti máa rọ́ọ̀ṣì jáde láti inú gáràjì pé kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ bọ́tí ipa tí gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì wá dé tọ́nà máa ṣe bíríìjì sí ibà ó dùn wá nú gidigidi gan. So adẹ̀ ń gbàdúrà fáwọn èèyàn wa wípé kọjọ kọ́tù ọmọ bá wa fún gómìnà wa ní ìrànwọ́ lójú ṣètò tó igi kan olùdágbó ṣe ẹ̀rọ gbogbo nǹkan tí bàbá yìí ti ṣe káàkiri gbogbo orígun Ogun State ní wọ́n ṣe sí ìlú ẹ̀ ó ga gan ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ́ ìlú ní ọkọ̀ ń ṣètò wá tó nǹkan bí alẹ́ nǹkan bí 7 tí ọba débi àmọ́ ìpè àjọ àlẹ́ kọ́ máa ní fọ́ ga wa ó wúlò fún àwọn èèyàn ó wúlò fún ara wa kò sẹ́ni tí ò wúlò fún ó dà gan.
Nǹkan tí mo rí nínú bíríìjì pé ó wúlò fún àwọn ará ọjà àtàwọn èèyàn tó ń sọdá lójú títì ọ̀rọ̀ pé ọ̀kadà gbá wọn mọ́tò gbá wọn kò sí mọ́ tó má ti gorí ẹ̀ àwọn tó ń lọ sínú ọjà ń lọ tiwọn àwọn tó ń lọ tiwọn wọ́n wọlé.
Ní báyìí ìjọba ti ṣe àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ kan láti fi dí ẹgbẹ̀gbẹ̀ òkúta ìdáméjì ojú òpópónà ọ̀hún láti dènà kí àwọn ènìyàn máa fọnù.
Àmọ̀ràn mi fáwọn èèyàn ní lílò ní wípé nígbà tí ìjọba bá ti gbérò kan báyìí kalẹ̀ wọ́n gbé kalẹ̀ fún wa láti máa lò ní so ká dẹ̀ máa lò kọ́ máa yẹ ká máa cross orí títì mọ́ lọ́jọ́ ká máa gba orí bíríìjì àwa ni wọ́n ṣe fún pé ká máa gba bẹ̀ fún safety ara wa fún ààbò ara wa ní kọjá ká máa lò ó so tọ́wọ́ lè rí tó bá ṣerú eléyìí tí ìlú kan àbí kan tọ́jú ẹ̀ kan mo wá ń gbàgbé tó gbogbo àwọn èèyàn
wọ́n rí pé wọ́n tọ́jú bíríìjì yìí o àdúrà wá gbà.
ní báyìí afárá ọlọ́kọ̀ ojú òpópónà márosẹ̀ tọ́gbìnrandì tó wà ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó ni wọ́n ti ṣí sílẹ̀ báyìí fún àwọn ọlọ́kọ̀ láti gbà ní ọjọ́ ajé ìlú akọ̀ròyìn wọn Paul Òmùkàbọ̀ tó lọ síbi tí wọ́n ti ṣe afárá ọlọ́kọ̀ náà jábọ̀ rẹ̀ wípé ẹni tí ó jẹ́ ọ̀gá àgbà pátá fún àjọ tó ń rí sí àtúnṣe ojú òpópónà ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà nígbà tí ó ṣe àbẹ̀wò sí ojú òpópónà náà sọ wípé ìjọba gbé ìgbésẹ̀ náà láti rí wípé àwọn ènìyàn ń lọ ìgbòkègbodò ọkọ̀ ń lọ ó sì ń tẹ̀síwájú ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó àti wípé kò ní kọ́ni kọ́ ọkọ̀ nínú. ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú All Progressives Congress APC ti rọ àwọn ènìyàn orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà láti má ṣe fi àyè sílẹ̀ fún àwọn olóṣèlú mọ̀dàrú àti àwọn ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú wọn láti tàn wọ́n jẹ nínú ètò ìdìbò gbogbogbò ọdún 2019. ó ní kí wọ́n má gbà wọ́n láyè láti ṣe àmúlò àwọn jàǹdùkú àti àwọn ọ̀nà tí ò dáa láti da ètò ìdìbò náà rú. ó ní kí àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà ó fi ojú wọn sílẹ̀ kí wọ́n rí pé ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú tí ó bá ní ìfẹ́ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà tó sì dúró ṣinṣin lórí ìtẹ̀síwájú àti ìdàgbàsókè ẹ̀ka gbogbo tó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú orílẹ̀-èdè yìí ẹni tó fi ṣe àtìlẹ́yìn fún. tó ìrora ní àṣálẹ̀ kò ní ju báyìí lọ pàdé wa ní àṣálẹ̀ la fún àkójọpọ̀ ìròyìn lawrence gandoni ti wà níkàlẹ̀ láti ṣe àtúpalẹ̀ ìròyìn ìfúnlédè ògùn ó dàárọ̀ òmìnira sùn. pọ́tọ́ òpẹ̀dá tọ̀dà òpèdè tán òfèrè àìsísẹ́ àhọ́rù ti dọ̀gba sítọ́ àyímátì tán yóò pé gbé kan dóńgbò dàgbé náà òpẹ̀dá tọ̀dà òpèdè tó lùsùn sán àsán nù. Ghana yìí tẹ̀ gan kò dó lẹ́yìn lẹ́sùn gàgà hìá gbọ̀nà yìí tẹ̀ lẹ́yìn ìgbà Áfíríkà tọ́lẹ̀ ní zan pẹ́ sọ̀sọ̀ dógó dọ́tà láti tó ìdò àyígbà lọ́lẹ̀. Yìí kò fún ànádà hó third mainland fòfò tó àwọn ni mẹ́ẹ̀tò afọ́sọ̀lẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́ mọ̀ kọ́bọ̀ dọ́tà náà àná àfọ̀tọ̀ ètò tó pa ṣẹ́kẹ́. Mekudo òpèjà yìí ní sọ́kúdú àṣọ ẹgbẹ́ kan. Wà ní gbígbọ́sọ tẹlifíṣàn ọ̀dàn tó pọ́ọ́dún kan Nta Abeokuta nínú ọmọ ìtọ́wẹ̀ Lawrence Gandonu. Ògùn mọ́tì họ́ọ̀lù kò dálọ́ ilẹ̀ dèhìnyédè òhùn ẹ̀dátọ̀ dàhó mọ fún mọ́lá dípẹ̀rẹ̀ ní ó ní òpópótó òhùn ẹ̀dátọ̀ dàhó pété àyímátì ìtọ̀ dìde náà wẹ̀ nábẹ́ àsánsán fọ̀ ìbá sí ògùn sàgbè wẹ̀lú òhùn ẹ̀dátọ̀ etí tó tẹlọ́mì ànánú wẹ̀dátọ̀ dàhó ọ̀nàtòkùnbọ̀ ọlọ́pàdé látò lùsìyàn san àfọlùsọ̀nù òpópótó òhùn ẹ̀dátọ̀ dàhó pété tọ̀ lọ wọ́n ìyàwó yí ànànú roma títan University wey ọ̀tọ̀ dọ́tà náà òpèdìbò fúnlẹ̀ Sun University wey of Beckenham tọ̀tọ̀ England lọ́dún pọ́wẹ́ ẹ̀sọ́kìyàwó tó òwe họ ètí náà òpèdìbò fúnlẹ̀ tó àyítẹ̀lẹ́tọ̀ Nàìjíríà ètí tó àwọ̀rìn bọ̀yì sọ́yúrọ̀ ẹ̀ tó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ òpèyídọ̀tọ̀ àkùnkálẹ̀ kan tó oṣù ṣẹ́wòtọ́ òpè 1981 àtọ́ dé ìwé kan tó gbọ́ ìmọ̀tẹ́fọ́dún Táíwò Adéolúwa sí tọ́jẹ̀gbọ̀nù lórí àdọ̀ gbẹ̀yìn lè dó tẹ̀lé lọ wọ́n ẹ̀kọ́ yìí náà pọ́n náà lòun lòun tó fojú àyítẹ̀ kan ó àyítẹ̀ àgànilẹ́tọ̀ òpin àyíṣíṣẹ́ àhọ́lù tìtòbá sítọ́ òsèmẹ̀ nítẹ̀ kan tó gùn mọ́tẹ̀lẹ̀ wẹ̀ ẹ̀yẹ́ kò yí bóyá dàgbé mọ́kọ̀tàn
Now when that the whole pete to òtẹ̀tún tó àyèmátẹ̀mẹ̀ ẹ̀nà ògbẹ̀dátọ̀ dàhó ọ̀làtò kùnbọ̀ ọlọ́pàdé ẹ̀nàtò òwúsùn ọ̀sán àkọ́fọ́rọ̀ tó ògùn sábò sọ̀rọ̀ ògùn mẹ́tẹ̀gá òsèdótọ̀ dàhó ìdìkúnlẹ̀ àmọ́sùn dóbi àtìtẹ̀wẹ̀ àyàyọ̀wọ̀ àkóso ọ̀nàmẹ̀ eze bíọ́ òpẹ̀dọ̀wà zọ́mẹ̀lẹ̀ kó àsánfẹ́kúfẹ́kú ṣoṣo kò sí wàlẹ̀ kó dóòlù kọ̀yìn wẹ̀dọ̀wà àyèmátẹ̀tọ̀ mìtọ̀ lẹ́kàn àgbọ̀dẹ títò àdódó tẹ̀lé hẹ́n ní gbọ́dọ̀ ńwẹ̀bà sí yọ̀ọ́sì títà iná jẹun tẹ̀ àdódó lọ́mẹ̀ sọ́gbọ̀n ògbọ́n yìí kó bá sí dòtè àyímátẹ̀ ìtàn tó òfin 1976 bọ̀ ìsọ̀nsán òfin iṣẹ́ àwọn pápá tó tẹ̀ lọ́mẹ̀ ògùn ìmátẹ̀gá ìgbékúnlé àmúsùn pé ògbẹ́fẹ́ àìsísí àhóòrò dìdòbà sí tọ́lẹ̀ tó pé dóòhì apọ́nì àsúkàgbòǹgbò pé epo wàsàn fẹ́kúfẹ́kú náà ló tọ́ yìí ìwẹ́dọ̀wà tó àyímátẹ̀ mẹ̀ tó hóhe wọ̀ súnbọ̀mẹ̀ òwò ẹ̀dátọ́ dàpọ̀ látòkùnbọ̀ ọlọ́pàdé dódàbíyọ́ náà mẹ̀híá tó àyímátẹ̀ gan náà àlọ́ àdódóhìn ìdóhẹ̀gbẹ̀dọ̀wà tó títò lọ́sìn òblọ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ pọ́wẹ́ èdè kúrò náà àyímátẹ̀ gan bọ̀ sọ́dọ̀ ndóyè náà fìfòhe náà òwò ìdọ̀tọ́lẹ̀ ẹnì gbogbo ẹ̀yọ́ wá sọ̀dọ́kọ́ sọ́yìn àyè sísí dàhó ìwẹ̀dọ̀wà ìbàsíyẹ̀wò àkóso èyí kò bá náà òpè nídọ̀tọ́lẹ̀ tó pé ìwẹ̀dọ̀wà kótó àyèmátẹ̀mẹ̀. Ghana ìtẹ̀gá nana àkóso àdó kódà hógbótà náà lẹ́hìn ẹlẹ́sùn gàdà náà ìtẹ̀mẹ̀ nígbà áfíríkà tọ́lẹ̀ nàdósà pẹ́ ìsopọ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ dógọ́ dótà náà fún mi lẹ́sẹ̀ bí àyíbà lọ podi ali adododo ko na do hwe agaye to ahlale bisese ehuhu oga keke ohu ton to primo pedi ogba obayi do to ayite Nigeria neto pelu fi egba si ohu do to adodote ni to bi to femi oke owo wo ti to fune bo somo to ahọ́nùrù lòkòtò gẹ̀ẹ́sì yìí gbàtọ̀ Theresa May tó máa dẹ̀mẹ̀wẹ̀ yín náà bà sí òǹlàpọ̀sọ̀ àdódódé gbó mẹ̀yìn ìgbà Áfíríkà èèyàn sọ́gbà sí ìhòòhò títà èèyàn bà sí òun lòkòtò sí ìhòòhò ògbọ́n èkó lẹ́sùn àkọ́rùbù lòkòtò tó òkè 2016 nìyí tó mítọ̀ Ken Emagbadike ó ẹ̀ tìbó sùsù ìrìnlọ́tọ̀. Yígọ òhúlẹ̀ tó kó àfọ̀sùntọ́lẹ̀ tó kó gbọ̀dọ̀ àdádàhó ilẹ̀ third mainland bridge tọ́jú tó pinnu èyí kò fún ẹ̀bùn gbọ́dọ̀ tó àtẹ̀sẹ̀gbè egbe Paul Omukago hẹ́ni ní gbọ́dọ̀ àná lọ owó ẹ̀bà sí àná àdódòdò tó etí ìnáàlú kọyìn àjọ hótó tó ẹ̀mà yìí tó àwọn ọ̀rìn tó mẹ́sọ́ lọ́sọ̀lọ́sọ̀ tó àyíkẹ́ nìkan Nàìjíríà tó fókè yìí nàmẹ́ ní ìbàsí òpó àdúrátọ̀ tètò lẹ́tọ̀ tó fún ẹ̀ ilẹ̀ Adédàmọ́lá Kútì gbàwó hẹ́lì nínú ọlẹ́dọ̀ àsánlọ́ bàṣẹ́ àsán àdódòdò pókè jẹ̀dọ̀ náà ní wá àyè rẹ̀ kódọ̀ àkọ́rùbù náà mọ̀dọ̀ mú àsánlọ́ ìdìbà sí nàdóògùnrin ànálọ́ náà dàgbègbè tọ́lẹ̀tọ̀ nẹ̀ẹ́dínlẹ̀ yìí dọ̀wọ́ hẹ́lì nọ̀mítọ́lẹ́dọ̀ náà yìí ní màá sọ àwọn àwòrán ẹ̀dí sẹ́sẹ́ bò ẹ̀mẹ̀ ní àsánkò wa bẹ́ tó kí gọ́mẹ̀ tó ànálájí. gbọ́dọ̀ pọ́wẹ́ ni tó àlùsálẹ̀ yẹn ni àlùsátọ́lẹ̀ tó pàǹṣẹ́kẹ́ tó àlùtàdàwó ìbáratọ̀jẹ́ tó òtògbólẹ̀nu Abẹ́òkúta tọ̀mẹ̀ wọ́n ẹ̀kọ́ gbọ́kú pẹ́ẹ́tò tó fi èèwọ̀ àná àgàhùmẹ̀tọ̀ ṣe àfọ̀sọ̀tọ́lẹ̀ náà gbọ̀n etí tó pàǹṣẹ́kẹ́lẹ̀nu oyí ìhòòhò náà sì san nìní yítọ̀ Hakeem Jimoh etí tó fúnẹ̀ pọ́n òtẹ̀ ilẹ̀ òòrùn àdòdówọ́tẹ̀ ìhẹ́ni ní gbọ́dọ̀ ọ̀gbẹ́ tọ́lẹ̀wẹ̀ tó fún mẹ́hùhù yítọ̀lẹ̀ dórí asosùpò lọ́sùpò lọ́sọ̀pọ̀ òwúrọ̀ zédà dàbò kọ̀tọ̀ náà dùn mátẹ̀gẹ́ òṣèdótọ̀ dàbò òbíkúnlẹ̀ àmọ́sù náà àsànfẹ́kúfẹ́kú èyí zéwà bó ẹ̀kọ́ gbọ́pọ̀ àgbẹ̀tọ́ tó mẹ́nu lẹ̀ mo mẹ̀ṣẹ̀lẹ̀ fi èmi náà mọ̀ dòwò ẹgbẹ́tọ̀ jẹ̀dí dẹ́kun sọ́ọ̀sì sọ̀tò kú náà gáwọn ló kótó sí nǹkan mi kákàdé sọ òfò dẹ̀dọ̀ àlọ́ṣọ́dún máa ń tọ́ láti tó fún mẹ́kọ́jì gbogbo tọ́dàgbé èsù òde náà.
End this and I've heard most of the day. My name is Jay. Now, news.
Tuesday before Nigeria and Kenya as part of a trade mission aimed at boosting post-Brexit fortunes and strengthening 8 global partnerships. Security issues will also feature on her agenda as she is expected to discuss the threats of Boko Haram in Nigeria and the role of British troops based in Kenya helping countries fight Al-Shabaab's militants in Somalia. Mrs. May will be accompanied to the 3 Commonwealth countries by a 29-man business delegation and would meet President Muhammadu Buhari in Abuja on Wednesday before meeting victims of modern slavery. Signed by the National Publicity Secretary of the party, Yekini Nabena, says this is against the backdrop of the recent seizure of Nigerian-bound ship detained in South Africa for carrying arms and explosives. The statement says this is a red flag security agencies must note and be alert to as political activities heighten in the lead-up to the coming elections. The APC urges the opposition to wake up to new realities where voters count and the people's will prevail in elections. It also admonishes all well-meaning Nigerians to support ongoing progressive efforts by the President Buhari-led APC administration to ensure that elections are transparent, free, fair.
The opening of the third mainland bridge is a big relief to motorists and other road users in Lagos. The bridge was closed to traffic for 3 days for integrity test. Federal Controller of Works, Adedamola Kuti, who briefed the media prior to the opening of the bridge, says repair works will follow after analysis of the test result.
The work will actually start when the level of water will have gone down, because this is the peak of the rainy season and the thing is very high.
It just demonstrates what is possible when the different organs and agencies of government work together.
Meanwhile, a cross-section of the Lagos motoring public are of the view that the entire bridge should not be closed when proper work on the bridge commences later in the year.
Yeah, once we are replacing the expansion joints, it's going to be partial closure. We are only going to close sections of the
traffic generally is smooth on the entire stretch of the third mainland bridge.
The State Chief Judge Olatokunbo Olopade is the only female to have occupied the exalted position of Chief Judge in Ogun State since it was created in 1976. For 7 years, she has been on the saddle of leadership in the judiciary arm of government of the state. Her contributions to governance in the state, especially in the judicial arm of government, was appreciated by members of the State Executive Council at the special valedictory session as Governor Ibukula Amosun and others described her 7 years as a state chief judge as one full of developmental strides. As she bowed out of the service after 40 years of meritorious service to Ogun State, attaining the constitutional age of 65, the council led by Governor Amosun commended the exemplary leadership attributes of the chief judge. In response, the elected Justice Olatokunbo Olopade thanked the Governor Amosun-led executive in Ogun State for giving judges and the entire judiciary support and freedom to discharge their duties in accordance with the oaths sworn in without undue interference. Governor thereafter led the Chief Judge and other judges on inspection of the new judiciary complex under construction at Nta Abeokuta. In Abeokuta, Lekon Agbonde, NC News.
For watching. That's all for tonight. Join us tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Nta